flickering. You should see you, Trav. They flickering.
What?
The neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters.
What is
you know
that?
what those are?
What?
It's your brain cells, man. They flickering.
Where at?
Yeah, in your head.
Nah, I'm sitting there like, dang, man.
All right, man. You know where your camera's at, right?
Yep.
All right.
This is a Kev one right here, for sure.
When you ready.
The camera's there. Yeah, make sure you look there.
Straight ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all can look at each other too.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all got an audience now, so
Yeah.
you really can talk to whoever.
All right, we going? All right. Welcome. This is another episode of the Whatever Trevor podcast. And I got an audience here, a beautiful audience. I'm glad y'all came. I'm glad, we got a nice, it's going to get there. Don't worry. It's going to get there. We got my man Platinum J. You can stand. You want to come in the camera real quick? All right. We got my man James Edwards. Look like Dante. No, let me stop.
Oh, man.
We got my man Will Smith, the real Will Smith, not the Fresh Prince, but the real Will Smith. Famous Rose, the most famous person in here, right? And her mother Megan Ewing, and her father Kevin Ewing.
What up?
So this is how we're gonna go. So the episode is called "What Did the Internet Ruin to You?" Ruin for you because I know it has helped people, but it's also hurt people, right? So the first question I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna ask this.
You should let us raise our hands.
Okay, matter of fact. Who wanna answer the first question? I need two people.
Yet. What's the question?
Okay. Has the internet ruined an experience or an event for you? And what I mean by that, like you see how it goes down, because when we were younger, we didn't really see the behind the scenes, right? So it's like I remember, for example, when I seen AJ from 106 in Park, the whole getup was fake. It broke my heart because I was like, yo, what? Yeah. He had a low cut. Matter of fact, I think he had like a little taper or something, but
Under the braids?
Yeah, under the braids. Yeah, it was a whole workup. So who wanna answer that?
One of the first things that came to mind for me was the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I felt like it was just so much going on, like circling the event. It was like, there's like memes before the fight even start, and rightfully so, because it was some wild stuff we saw. I mean, between how star-studded it was, between what Mike was wearing before the fight even started.
Don't remind me about that.
I can't say it necessarily ruined that event, but it definitely was like
you wish you wouldn't have seen
this
that.
This is a circus.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. Who else? I know somebody got something.
Wish we wouldn't have paid all that money for that on Netflix for sure.
Oh, all right. So
For sure.
You know what? Well, I guess that's the opposite side, because since we got the internet, I don't pay for none of that stuff.
Facts. Hey, that's facts.
My whole night might be how did the internet improve my situation.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna flip it on halfway. So
Yeah.
So is there any
Jermaine, I know
you got something, man. A dancing event that you've been waiting your whole life to go to, and when you get there, you're like, what? Like,
well, okay. So when you look at a lot of the reality shows, in some aspect of it, it's like some stuff is pre-planned. Some things are, you know what I mean? It's I got to start a fight with you because that's what producers want.
Mm-hmm.
But on TV, they don't want you to know. They don't want the audience. You're selling the show. You're selling, you know what I mean, people's personalities and things like that. So it's not really as authentic as you thought it would be because everything is a money thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think once I realized like the behind the scenes things and like how that works, I was just like, I'm not really interested in it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, American Idol, Dance with the Stars, like a lot of that stuff is pre-planned. The best talent doesn't always win.
but you said, that's the sell though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Mr. Will?
Man, that goes back to, you just remember the band with Diddy. Like,
Yeah, that's really ruined now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Knowing that Beyonce was the reason they went to go get the cheesecake was crazy.
And what about all these shows coming out? Like, you got BMF and all these shows. I hate going to Facebook and people telling the story. Yeah, I hate that, bro.
Don't even say, don't do that. Because you
And he one of them. He's one of them, bro.
Oh, he does
He
that?
is definitely one of them, bro.
That's
like,
crazy.
I will hang up on them before they even get a chance.
I think for me it was. I think of me it's kind of like with sports, because now I'm starting to think that's scripted.
Yeah,
Stuff goes to plan now.
yeah.
So it's like,
Teams going down 20, coming back. Like, it's a different game.
you know, the parlay says I don't never hit on a parlay.
I was about to say, you ever think that's? I mean, we've had that heavy in the playoffs this year, where a team has got a huge deficit and comes back. So you know you can bet during the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that probably got that's
I'm sure it got something to do with it, man.
probably got something to do with it.
It's hard to not believe it don't. Yeah.
So all right, so
hold on, one more before you move on. Concerts.
you don't really gotta go.
Concerts and comedy shows.
Yeah.
Like, and I know they make you put your cell phone in a box for the big.
Yeah, they
dogs.
did that. Yo, I was trying to take a picture of Dad when he was on at a show.
Oh, yeah,
and that lady said,
Yeah, and so like on one hand, you want to show off your experience, like for the show, but they don't want it shared, so you can't do that part.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a concert, you know, we looking forward to seeing, you know, Beyonce's show or whatever, or you know what they call it, the Breezy Bowl coming up soon and stuff like that. Like if you don't go, if you're like looking forward to seeing the show, somebody's gonna spoil the set list, or somebody's gonna spoil like the element of surprise for seeing like your favorite artist. So
And have better seats.
Yup.
Yeah, they're gonna make you feel like you can't go unless you
I gotta
have.
spend $5
I guess that's another thing. Like the I guess the fake facade that you have to be as successful as somebody who's not successful, because nobody shares nothing that's bad. So have you ever been in that situation where like it's like, dang, yo, this person is like killing it.
Oh,
And then you see them and they like, dog, I'm down bad.
Oh, yeah.
I just got 100,000 followers, but I ain't got $100 to remain.
I feel like it ruins holidays too. Like where somebody's like in comparison all the time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you know your 16-year-old sees somebody got a new phone, they got a new phone, but it ain't the phone that they friend got. Now you in a comparison battle, so it can ruin holidays. Like there's a lot of different events.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my next question is relationship wise, like how can you say the internet has ruined? Because that's the number one thing. Like even the question, what did the internet ruin for you? People always say relationships, marriages.
Oh, I got you, Trev. So the internet ruined the privacy between a relationship. Like, it ruined the mystique of a relationship. Simply because I don't post my girl all the time doesn't mean I don't love her any less.
But that's what she looks at, though.
Hey, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's what
That's
she
a
looks
fact.
at. And then I think another thing is like, okay, so me, Kev, and Jermaine, we all around the same age, right? Maybe like a year apart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when we broke up with a girl, we might not see that girl for 6-7 months. Now,
You see that
you can see her that night.
she with.
Yeah.
Well, then that goes into, you know, do you unfollow that person? Do you still follow that person? And then it's like with social media, it's just like it goes to what you guys were saying was like it's a comparison of what that girl has or what the man looks at a girl if it comes from pornography to what these girls are half naked on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's just like sometimes it's just like it's nothing. It's just it's just eyes.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, depending on how your relationship is set up, it could feel some type of way about it. Vice versa.
Yeah.
The man and Michael B. Jordan, no, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a different
Girls
aspect
hate
of
him.
it. Right.
He's like the most regular famous out of them all. Like, yeah, so I think the thing that it kind of like ruined too with relationships is like, man, how can I put this?
Straight.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, man, I don't know. It's like
I would say
the DM sliding.
yeah, definitely that.
The innocent DM sliding. And then like I think that everybody is like so against each other now. So it's like somebody like if a dude and his girl is going through it and he's like, well shoot, man, forget her. I'm gonna slide into this shorty's inbox, right? Knowing that girl and your girl don't get along, she's gonna bait you into saying the most craziest stuff, and then the number one word you don't want to hear, I got the screenshots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
mean,
like-
that's, you just got, well, you gotta learn it.
I almost feel like screenshots made stuff better.
if you want your
that
stuff,
proof.
yeah,
You want
your
your
stuff.
act. Now a lot of people still get caught up looking crazy. They not thinking before they act, but I feel like it make you a little more cautious
Yeah.
over like what you can make happen, because it's like I don't want to be like really looking crazy.
All right, so Will, okay,
Yeah,
you the
I'm
oldest.
about to say, yeah.
You the oldest, right? So this really wasn't a problem for you.
Nah, yeah,
But
y'all
but-
get caught up all the time now, so like too much access to you. So like,
But okay, your son, right?
okay,
He's probably went through it. Now, I'm not saying that he was DM sliding, but he probably like, he's been, because you think you would talk to a girl
yeah,
and you're wrong. It's like she got a roster. That's real.
but let me ask this question: like, would you if you had a girl and some guy saw a picture of her Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and they did like, how does that make you feel?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I was gonna say that about the relationship
Yeah.
period. Like a lot of people in relationships, they compare
Yeah.
through social media. Like, I want my relationship to be like this. I want to go on vacations, do this and that. And the same, and also for the men, like it's very tempting for us. Like we scrolling our phone, all we seeing is ads, stuff like that all over the phone. Like, you know what I mean?
I tell you what, the internet has ruined for me is like the word content creator. Because when I hear it, I'm like, oh, she's a woman of loose morals.
Your brain goes straight to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I remember even when OnlyFans came out, it was still kind of like taboo until like you see more regular girls doing it. Now it's like I shouldn't say it, but the 6s and the 5s and the 4s.
So overall though, this conversation to me, I was thinking about this the other day, the power of women, right? When it comes to this stuff. So guys have to work 10 times harder to even get certain things that we want or be in places that we want.
I don't agree with that.
No.
You gotta let him land. You gotta let him land.
No, let me land the plane. Let me land the plane.
Land it.
When we talk about the I'm specifically talking about the internet. Like far as like the OnlyFans, is if a girl feel, oh man, I need $50. Let me go show my feet real quick. Not saying that it's not out there for guys, but I'm just saying you don't see that much. But when it comes to the power of a woman in the sense of to get the bread that she needs or anything that she wants to buy or do, we got girls on social media that are famous for what?
For looking good.
What?
Looking good and dancing.
But again, that's our fault.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the man's
That's
fault.
what I said. Yeah
Because
exactly.
we're engaging in this person because they have an OnlyFans or you're subscribed or whatever. All I'm saying is in that field, in that part, it's not as easy for a guy to do that because ain't no man over here taking off their clothes for a situation like that.
Between Instagram and OnlyFans, remember how we had to put in work to see those type of photos?
Yeah,
Like you had to really
bro.
put in some time to get a
Yeah.
bikini shot or half naked picture. Now it's like right there, it's accessible, like super easy to see that stuff, and it's almost desensitizing. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
And they
and
expect you to be
I agree with
respectable.
you though. You saying like it's our fault, but hey, they guilty too, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just as guilty, bro.
They using
They
what
know
works.
exactly what they doing when they showing us that stuff.
And they
you know
doing
what I mean?
what they got to do to pay
To
whatever
survive
bills,
and
to
do all
survive,
that. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But
so-
again, it goes down to the morals and the respect. Oh, you don't respect me. Well, do you respect yourself? Oh, it's just a job. I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What do they say? No, you're not. Remember that meme? No, you're not. Yeah, but I also think it ruined like man, remember when you could and I've said this on my show before. I'm like, it was like back in the day, and I know Will's probably like back in the day. What 2004? Right? But,
I ain't that old. Go ahead.
but back in the day, you could like meet up with a girl and maybe be like, yo, my homeboy having a cookout, you wanna come? Now she's all happy because you just brought her around your friend. She's like, oh, he really liked me. Man, you can't even take a girl one girl told me, you lucky I let you take me on that cheap ass Chili's date. Wow. It's a first date. Where are we supposed to go
Factory,
at?
they calling you a broke boy if you take them to Cheesecake Factory.
Hey.
I like
Man,
Cheesecake
you ever seen the wardrobe they wear at Cheesecake Factory? It's not cheap.
Man, listen.
They wear tuxedos in there to bring you your food. Like,
But it's the internet. The internet thinks that you should have this because of what other people see.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Comparing
Because I
it.
do it. Like, it's nothing wrong with me doing something this 1 or 2 times for special occasions, but it's just not an everyday thing.
Exactly, and
My
people
thing is
expect
if you know me or if you know my surrounding or even your surrounding, if you're not able to pay for yourself, why are you over here comparing pockets when you can't even do it for yourself?
now you remember
Because they got options.
Yeah,
Well,
now you remember
Sure, but that option, if I'm one of their options, let's
Okay.
say option 1,
Yep.
you got to be cool with what I'm doing. If you're not cool with it, that's on you.
Yeah.
If you know my not I would say situation, but my lifestyle, you're trying to upgrade your lifestyle with
I'm not the one
me,
for
and
it.
you can't even upgrade your lifestyle for
On your own,
yourself.
yeah.
How's that? That doesn't.
I agree with you,
that
but
doesn't
when
make
you said
sense.
how the internet ruined it,
Well,
back
yeah.
in the day, you didn't have to go through that.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
now what I mean, the internet is giving you, social media is giving you way more options than you had back in the day.
And I mean-
you don't have to
like, it's
establish
like-
relationships. You
Yeah.
just, it's all about, they're going to use what they got to get what they want. And unfortunately, if you're weak-minded and we tend to have a thirst to be around women who look good and who have good shapes and good bikinis and good everything. You tend to,
And can be dumb as a box of
be
rocks.
dumb as a box of rocks.
You gotta
With no talent.
Side,
With no
argument.
talent.
You gotta
All right, so here's another one, right?
Hold up.
you got a female side to the
Yeah, Megan, come on. Let me.
I feel like it's like.
But hold on, before you say anything, Megan is not nowhere near like she's like what we call her.
She a content creator though.
She is, but when we talk about you, Kev,
Y'all talk about me?
when we talk about you, right? Like, yo, Kev doing this, and this. And you're like, yeah, but that's the power of a good woman that really got your back too. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's like we always make sure we shout out Megan, because I've been there where Megan was like, nah, don't do that. Like, keep doing what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? So,
Alright, so
we don't got a lot of Megans out here, just to let y'all
I
know.
think it goes both ways. I think
Okay.
you're attracting, like if you're attracting the women that are just going, like you're putting something out there to show a fake lifestyle that attracts them to think that's on the daily. So it's almost like you get in a circle of both playing each other because you're both trying to live at 2 different standards. And then at the end of the day, no one tells the truth.
That's
Where
the
it's
standard.
like,
Yeah.
hey, we're not going out to eat this week. I don't have it. Like, it is what it is. Like, maybe next week
You
is
better
different.
not say that.
She
You better
did.
zip that meal or something. Do y'all take Klarna at I was like, nah, but you better not say that. I know. I mean,
So
it's
is there a difference between Harford County women and outside of Harford County women? Do you feel like it's the same criteria?
I don't know, man. I don't really like. I've always been the dude that my grandma used to always say, "Man, Trevor don't like nothing local." That was her thing. She always used to be. But the only reason I did that is because I like running into people that knew your business already. I was always scared of that because I seen how it affected the grown ups I seen when I was younger. So I always said, "Man, I'm going to PA as soon as I get my license." I'm going to PA, but because. I honestly, I wouldn't do Harford County as much as I would do another state. Because I've been to Houston or I've been to North Carolina. He's from North Carolina, right?
North Carolina.
And I see that the one thing out there, the girls, when they say they going out, they always got their man with them, right? It's like a hospitality thing. Like, it's like, like in the Spanish culture, you can see a Spanish girl at the club, but I bet you her husband around there somewhere, right? Down here, I don't see that at all. Like, oh, he with the kids. We not really together right now. But y'all live.
But I think that's just the area where you know what I'm saying, like the I guess the culture in that like particular area or whatever, because it's like if you stay in a place long enough, like, oh man, I can't date her in Harford County. She was with my homeboy 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So it goes into your question, goes into knowing about your business already, because you dated such and such. Sometimes that conversation is like, I don't want to hear about that, or you know what I'm saying, or reminisce like, even though it could be years ago, I dated your wife in high school. What?
You know what's funny?
Like-
that actually played a little part in like me and her getting together.
Yeah.
Because y'all,
You
none of
didn't
y'all
know
knew
you
her.
dated me?
No, I'm just saying. I didn't know who she was until
I know your
you.
wife.
Someone gave a good review?
No, but I'm just saying, right? I got a young feel there. Oh, I remember when she did. No.
Yeah, but it was like, dang, like
That's a huge thing for a guy too,
Yeah.
like to know
But it was,
ain't
but-
nobody around here messing with my girl or even had the chance. Yeah, that's a
and
big.
what I probably would look at, I mean, we're like 15 years in now, but like I was like 22, 23,
Yeah.
and that was the mindset, like, man, if nobody knows her, like, I'm already like ahead of the game a little bit.
Remember on Soul Food when he was just like, hey, you know your girl.
Yeah, I know your wife, bro.
He's like,
Coca-Cola bottle.
he's like, yeah, I used to call her Coca-Cola.
He just said, hey, what's your mom name? Like,
How you know it? But it was just a genuine question because you just like. Obviously, I wasn't expecting anything outside of just regular conversation. But when you think about it later down the line, be like, oh, dang! But it was just a honest question, answer, whatever. But and you stay long enough in a place that can happen.
Yeah.
But when you broaden your travel, or you decide to move somewhere else and when nobody knows you, and you build that now. In their eyes, you're new in that area.
Yeah.
But in their eyes, if they've been there that long, they might be the opposite. Oh, I want to get up out of here because such and such know about me, or whatever the case is. From you just being popular in general from high school, and you just grow up in the same area, you stay in the area, and that happens. But when you go out of state, you get a different view. You know what I'm saying? I was just in North Carolina for the J. Cole concert,
Oh, okay.
and I seen people in relationships, different things, and the culture and everything like that. My parents from North Carolina as well. But there is a difference. I can just see the difference between here and out of state. But I think it just depends on how long you live in that state, because that question can be the same in any perspective.
Yeah.
I guess when I look at it, I was stationed in Fayetteville, North Carolina back in the
Fayetteville,
day.
yep.
Okay. So I was young then.
Yeah.
And females, when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, doesn't matter where you at, they still have us and them have the same type of mindset.
Yeah.
It's very few. Kevin and Megan may be different, who had a long game back when we was young.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's trying to be a sprinter.
Yeah.
So not a marathon runner.
Yeah, I know. I'm sprinting right now. No, but yeah, I mean, yeah, those is all good points. So, like, okay, has the internet impacted your social interactions? Like, do you think it's done more harm than good, or good? Because me, this is my thing. I hate this about myself, but I'll see a girl ask her for her name and her Instagram, and I'm sliding in the DM.
That's lazy.
Instead of me being like, yo, what's your number? Like, you want, Now I'm getting out of that.
Hold up, can you say that one more time?
Yeah, one more time.
Like, I'd rather ask a girl for her Instagram and then go slide in her DMs instead of getting like embarrassed in person. Like, if she's like, oh, nah, get out my face. You know what I'm saying?
That's like an advantage and a disadvantage.
Yeah, I
Because
was
you
gonna
don't want to
say-
get, curved, but, I feel,
And I feel like,
Because all I got to do is block. So, never even knew you.
but you don't feel like a lot of guys are doing that to the point to
No,
where
I'm just
you
saying
don't
me.
stand out. Like, you can approach her and be the courageous one that wasn't intimidated by how she looked or whatever you saw in person, and be like, dang, that's different. Like, he actually, approached me without wanting to hide behind the social media front.
Nope, not doing it yet.
But that's confidence, though, Trav.
Yeah, I know.
It's confidence, but depending on you as a guy, how fast you can analyze the situation in front of her right there, going what Kev said. So I feel it's a balance. Because if you're not that confident to do what Kev was saying, because I think with social media today, it's the lack of communication that we have with one another to begin with.
Yeah, that's
right?
it's ruined that for sure. Like,
So when you DM, you're DM because I'm not saying you have lack of confidence, but in that situation, lack of confidence when it comes to a female, that might be your way, and maybe you just asking that might got her attention. But if let's say it's me, I'm like, oh, what's up, what's good, shorty? Like, how you feeling?
Yeah,
My name is such and such. da da da. But I might say because I assess the situation that quick. You know what? Look, she's having a good time. I don't want to bother her too much. Instead of me asking for her, she likes, she probably on social media. Let me just get her social media.
so you see, there's a balance of that.
It's a balance. I probably got a high chance of getting her Instagram than her number, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I get you.
If she don't want to be bothered, stuff
Right.
like that, yeah.
And then I could ask for a number because who's to say you can get her number and y'all still don't hit it off regardless because her personality might not match. You could just look at her IG and be like, okay, we kind of in the same thing. Okay,
Yeah. So it's definitely a,
I think you gotta
yeah.
be quick with it. Just kind of analyze the situation.
I would say it ruined a lot of like. Well, I ain't gonna say ruin friendships, but like.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I know a lot of my best friends like. I don't call them as much as I used to. You know what I mean? Because I see them on there, and I'll be like, okay, that's cool. I see them, they good, you know what I'm saying? Instead of reaching out and being like, really asking them like,
Right.
you good, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't even really know how they doing. They could be hiding behind some stuff on social media just like anybody else, you know what I mean?
So I say it ruined the family reunion. Like, I haven't been to a family reunion in like.
Do they still
Man, come on down to North Carolina, we got you, man.
I'm saying like, but like my family. It's not like my family don't have them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, I see them. I see my cousin. They doing their thing.
Yep,
They got kids. Their kids grow like.
Everybody good.
Yeah, it's almost like it's late. It makes us lazy.
Exactly.
As far as
It do,
relationship
it do.
goes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But as far as social interaction, as far as
No, I was like social interact. Like, I definitely think like these like the last 5 years, you can really tell somebody that you kind of like felt different about.
Yeah.
You didn't know what you couldn't put your finger on it. You definitely see it on Facebook. Like if it goes away at the election or or how they feel about a certain individual that might be it's like I hate to say this,
Most
but
people tell on themselves on
yeah,
Facebook.
like when the first time Obama was elected, right?
Yeah.
You seen a lot
Yeah,
of
you
true
seen
color,
the-
but not as much, right? You
seen the
still,
ugly
you
side
still,
of people.
yeah, not really. Now when Trump got elected, it was like, oh, I knew it, I knew it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I hate that I even know that side, but I'm glad at the same time because now I don't got to fake the funk with you.
And I brought up the fact that people feel like they know you because of social media. They know what you're going through, or they know how your life is, and you don't really. But on the other hand, there are stuff that people share that let you know who they are,
Exactly.
and they probably should have kept it to themselves. Like it's a like real slippery slope when it comes to like, yeah, you actually are showing who you are with some of the stuff that you post, and then some of the stuff that you post, like it's just.
I think it's also kind of made it hard for men to interact with each other now because it's like we got to be so tough. You know what I'm saying? Like you see all those memes, you see all those podcast clips where the guys is like, "Man, you got to be strong." You know, now it's not like that. Now they saying it's okay to cry, it's okay to do therapy. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But it like when I was going through something, and I would look on, let's say my cousin's Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he living life." Right? He doing his thing. I'm not gonna call him and bother him with my problems.
Oh, you didn't.
And then I call him and he's like, "Man, let me tell you what I'm going through."
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like
so it almost felt like there's a front being. Put
yeah,
up.
it's like a big front being played. But then when you call I think it also made it good when you actually call somebody. That wall comes down because it's like, okay, they cared about me enough to call.
Exactly.
Not DM me and be like, "Yo, you doing good?" Blah blah blah. All this. I don't want to write, "Nah, I'm suffering through depression and all this stuff." I'm gonna just tell you like, "Yo, I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm good." What's the
Can you solve the problem by not telling them, or that's not the person to help you solve it?
No.
He said no.
But I would say this though. I think sometimes, regardless if let's say you are going through that and nobody else knows or whatever the case is, sometimes the person who could be calling on you just to check on you, like quickly, that could just, the person don't even know, but that could help you, you know, without realizing, hey, somebody's checking on me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm okay. Then if, let's just say it continues to happen, you know, it might help you in the long run, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have to call people just to call them and say, what's up? I ain't gotta say much. I ain't say, hey, how you doing? What's good? You know what I mean? Because like you said, social media doesn't always, you know, tell the story. You know, I'd be like, damn, I wish somebody would call me and say how I'm doing. Yeah. I shoot 2 weeks. I've been through a lot in the last 2 weeks personally, but sometimes I feel like my personality doesn't give that. Oh, somebody needs to call flat.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've built that confidence within myself that I don't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes
It'd be nice. Yeah, I feel the same way sometimes. I'm like that too. I'm like, well, me and him both. Yeah.
Don't we call? We don't call him.
I don't.
I check on him. He's faking the funk right now. Y'all
I probably talk to Selby Brian Selby almost like every other day. Just because that's just we either school stuff or we just talk about random stuff or whatever. But even if it's quick, like I know that person I talk to almost every single day. So that's
All right, man. Do you want any of the like live comments? Like,
Yeah, they got some?
feedback. All right, so we was on the topic of like the social media interaction, like dodging a girl or approaching her. So that's how the new generation is. They will ask for social media for asking for the number. Instead of asking for the number, and then he said internet dating is taking over instead of like that, just that one-on-one. And then they said the internet has ruined willpower. A lot of people that we look up to or admire don't show the struggle; they only show the glory.
Yeah, now that for sure. Yeah, definitely.
But you also don't know the facade you paint. How often do you go back and look at your social media and the things you posted?
You know what's funny? I had that happen, and he don't like when I talk about it because it was real. It was like and I told Kev, because matter of fact, I talked to you before I talked to Kev when I told him. Mm-hmm. But I was going back and forth to LA, and I was just out there networking, doing my thing, happy to meet the people that I listen to on my headphones, and the producers that I look up to, and I'm taking pictures with them, and I'm not really like. To me, posting that wasn't like I was living a fake lifestyle, but I got called that though.
You were just enjoying the moment.
But I was just enjoying making memories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got called like I went back and looked at it, and I'm like, man, it's not like I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to Eric Bellinger's house, or you know what I'm saying, or like I'm going to.
it sounded like they was hating.
Yeah, so yeah,
Definitely hating.
Because your intent is always is what matters, right? In situations like that, but there's so many ways of how people can, I guess, interact with you and say, dang, you can just say, oh, that's cool, or just like it, and just what is the extra comments for that's negative when I'm just enjoying myself.
I think that but it's funny. I think that like again, the internet has ruined like people just don't know how to be nice no more.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because like when I was telling Kevin, which I thought I laughed at this was funny, and I don't care if she sees this or not, right? But I had it was one of the very first episodes I did. I posted it on my Snap, which I never do because I be forgetting I got that.
Yeah.
And this girl, and if you didn't want to say anything, like if you didn't have nothing to say or didn't know what to say, you probably should have just chilled.
Yeah.
But she said, "Oh, look at you. You're so unprofessional. You're not letting him talk. You're over talking him. You're not looking him in his eye, right?" And I'm like, and I laughed. I swear that was my first reaction. I laughed because I'm like, I don't even feel like, okay, Nick, if I felt like one of those things was true,
yeah.
like for like the clip I posted, I asked Alex one question and he took over. How am I not letting him talk? So it went from her saying that. And me being a smart ass, like, I said, well, you know what? I guess that means that a future episode with you just ain't in my cards. And you know what she said? Well, if you did have me on, what questions would you ask? So you said all that to say this.
She had to be mean to get your attention.
I mean, she got it, but it was
clickbait. Clickbait.
Yeah, it was like clickbait, yeah.
Other ways she could have said it, or if she was your friend, there's different ways it could have been said.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jermaine, this question is for you.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't know if anybody else was on the show, but I if he was, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But when you was done the season, right?
Yeah.
How was it coming back home? Did it get overwhelming at any point? Like you were like, yo, man, I don't even like this dude, but what's up, man? You know, like, but did it get overwhelming at any point where you just wanted to be like, yo, I just want to
Just
close my room and be by myself?
I feel like a yes and no, just depends on where I went. Like,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like most of it, I would say this wasn't like a gather. It was like individuals. It wasn't like 5-6 people at a time or anything like that. Most of it was like, yo, Pat, good. Hey, I love what you're doing. It was all positive. It was, you know what I mean? And then it was, once it got to certain places, let's say I'm in Baltimore. Now, once I'm in Baltimore, that's a whole different thing because it was at times when I was with my sisters, like, yo, we couldn't go anywhere. Like, we had to have security. We had to have, like, situations. But by myself, it would be like, how was it like on the show? What was it? It was just so many questions, like, left and right. And I'm just like, all right, it was this and this, but then I realized I would repeat myself, and then it just like, it kind of got overwhelming at times, but not enough to where I was just like, I completely disliked it, because it was, I would say for me, I didn't know anyone else around here that was on a major show.
So
like
you couldn't
that.
go to anybody and ask, right?
Yeah, so I just tried.
So now you are the guy. That
Yeah,
if
I'm
somebody
the
gets
guy.
on the show, you are the guy now that they come to. So.
Yeah, so I just, you know, I kind of embraced it, man. I enjoyed it, and I would say a lot of the stuff, with Kevin and Megan, included them in there just because I know how much me and Kevin love music and things like that. Even James, it was just like we always talked about it, and I included him in a lot of stuff because it was like, yo, I can't do like a lot of this stuff by myself. Like, yo, I need this, I need help. You know what I mean? But I think the experience was great, and I think the people who saw me, and there's people who called me just to prove that they had my number. I said, what? I remember.
You know you're doing something right.
Dude, I remember the dude Billy. He was like, his brother was watching the show or something. He was like, yo, I know him. And his brother didn't believe him. Dude called me, and then he FaceTimed me just to make sure he was telling the truth. And I was like, oh, what's up? Like, I've done like a lot of that stuff. My number been the same since college, for real.
Don't get
Like,
mad
my
if
number
I do it
ain't
one day
changed.
if I'm out at Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, yeah, you better platinum.
Dude, right? I still got Facebook messages that is just still there from people, just saying, awesome seeing you, good job, keep doing it. And even till this day, still standing in that lane in some capacity. But yeah.
Nah, I mean, yeah, like, because I always wanted to ask you that,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, I ask him when the setting is right. Well, the setting is right, so,
Nah, man, but ask me again, as you producing and things like that, man. It's stuff like that. I've been around a lot of stuff too, so it's just like I probably know stuff, but not realize I know it until somebody actually asks me.
Yeah,
a certain
cool.
thing. You know what I mean? So I'm always open for questions and stuff like that because it's cool. If they did a reunion, I'll be right there. Like, what's up? What's up with it?
Okay, so I gotta ask a question that just came up in my head, and it's for a young lady in the back, famous Rose, right? Because I know you sitting here like, man, I don't know none of this. Like, okay, so how old are you?
8.
Okay,
Now you can walk up to the mic if you want.
yeah. So you're 8 years old, right? Have you ever
Oh,
heard?
dang. All right, back up. Sorry. Go ahead.
So you're 8 years old. Have you ever heard your parents say, well, why don't you go outside like we used to back in the day? Because I remember you was glued to that iPad. Every time I came over there, it was like, your hand, I think you was born with it. Like, you just doing everything, eating. Like, I was like, oh, man, that's... I remember when she was at my house and my mom was blown away because she was only like 1 year old and she's sitting there.
She knew how to navigate.
Yeah, she's sitting there and my mom was like, she really know how to... I'm impressed. Like, but yeah, you ever hear your parents say that?
I'm usually the one that chooses to go out with.
Oh, okay. So you one of the different kids then. You don't like sitting in the house.
I mean, it depends. Like, sometimes, like, I have a bunch of friends in my neighborhood that I can go out with sometimes, but I usually have to see if they're free before I go out, because I don't usually just go out and find people.
Okay, see, and that's what we had to do. That's what we had to do. We had to be like, Yo, I think James outside. I've seen him.
Just go look.
Yeah, we just would go look.
Yeah,
Like,
there weren't any group chats.
yeah, like, was no group chats like, hey, meet me by the light pole at
You gotta
6
knock
o'clock.
on their door.
The green box.
The green boxes. You know, we shouldn't even have been sitting on them from what the
At
dude at
all.
BG&E told
Where
me.
you learn that, the internet?
I didn't. Shout out Tyshawn Martin. He works for BG&E. He
Okay.
told me that. Yeah, I'm like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. You saying?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. So no
He
green
was over
boxes.
there making
children.
beats on that thing. Getting busy.
But nah, she's at, so where you said like Megan's rare, so is she.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
So
But I
she's-
think Ava's rare too because
Yeah.
Ava get in the car. She always tell me, I should have went to school with you because I like your music better than you do. And I'm like, man, all right, whatever, man. Like, you know, she wish she was a teenager in like 2000.
She's
You
an
know what I'm
old
saying?
soul.
Yeah. Which I'm proud of, but I feel like that you gotta put that into the kid.
Yeah.
Because if you just sit a kid in front of the internet, they're gonna be some of the worst kids ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or they can be geniuses.
All right, so we got another comment. You ready?
Who's
All
it
right,
from?
So, Chris.
It's
Chris
from the girl
Simmons.
that's commenting on the first one.
Alright, so he said the internet has ruined attention span or
Oh, yeah.
focus.
Oh,
How many
God.
times do we check our phones per day? How many times will you check your phone throughout a movie? Like, can you watch a movie without checking your phone?
I can't.
I can't.
Personally, I can. My
I say you can't?
my girlfriend can't, but I can.
Yeah, I can too.
Yeah.
I can. Shoot.
You on the internet right now.
It's the playoffs.
Amen.
Nah,
Even that
yeah.
though,
Yeah.
even that, like my kids can't watch a game without checking their phone. Like we
Yeah.
would watch a game, we would know the commercials, we would know the stats, we would know the coach, we would we claim we love the sport we were watching, and everything about it showed. Like I can tell you who like led the league in rushing in 1996. Like just
Nah.
because we had that love for it without the distraction.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it does mess with.
That's just like
attention span.
that's like when LeBron's scored the most for the most
Oh, yeah,
points.
and you see,
Everybody's got their phone like this though. Like everyone's got their phone taking the picture. Like y'all ain't even enjoying the moment. So like,
I mean,
yeah.
our oldest won't watch a basketball game. Plays basketball,
Yeah.
but will only watch the TikTok highlights.
It's only Baller's Life, Hoop Mixtape,
Uh-huh.
Overtime.
and they kind of
Yeah.
mad at that. Like, they
Yeah.
kind of mad. They swear, like, the internet's ruined
I
basketball.
mean, I feel like it's lessen.
No, and I'm not
quality
saying it ruined the
of
NBA.
the American game.
It has ruined the AAU circuit.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that a little bit more when Darius come on, because, you know, he's a coach. But, like, now it's like you could be, what? You can be, you could play 13U as long as you don't turn 15 before
What?
August. Yeah, it's a piece of paper that says that. And I'm like, well, what's the point?
Older or younger?
Yeah, so it's like, it's like the thing that you keep hearing now is reclassing.
Reclass.
Yeah, they do it in high school too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
There's
like,
like 19, 20-year-old seniors that read.
they said the boy McQueen. Nah, I ain't gonna talk about that. No, I ain't gonna talk. Because he from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? They got his ass bounce right out the next game. Like I said, but yeah, nah, they said he was old. Like, they said he was like 2 years older than Cooper Flag and they graduated together. I don't know how true that is. If it's not true, I'm sorry. Young
Allegedly.
fella. Yeah,
Oh,
allegedly.
like
But
that
they
playing on
trying to
Cooper
get
Flag
that-
team.
Yeah.
He was older than him. Yeah.
They're trying to get that NIL like bag, man, just to.
Yeah, and that's wrong
Access.
now because every
'Cause they-
parent think that they kid
Yeah.
is good enough to get an NIL deal, and I'm like, I keep trying to tell these parents like, yeah, he can't even stay on the team. Why are you worried about that? Keep him on the team. You know what I'm saying? Before you start worrying about that kind of stuff, because if people ain't gonna give you money and he can't stay on the team
Yeah, I mean, part of staying on the team is why they would want you.
in the first place. So yeah,
I would say earlier, access, the internet, the phone, with Kev's thing. The question, I think, is just the fact that we have access, so much access in our palm of our hand.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
It's a
hard.
gift and a curse.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. It's hard
And you
not
can do
to do it.
almost anything on it. You can
Right.
check your balance from your bank. You can get on it. You know.
And the
So
fact
much
that
to
we
do
can
on
all have that conversation because of our age, but like the kids like, Nay or, my son and your daughter, you know what I'm saying? they growing up with it. Like they don't know what it is without it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
depending on
It's
if
normal
you're
to
being a
them.
genius, like my nephew, he's coding. Like he could build stuff and robots and stuff, and I'm like, you're 14. Like, what do you know about? I was like, they didn't have coding in what is it? Middle
That's
school,
not a
like, going to high
class.
school?
Yeah, that's
like
That's
that's
just
crazy.
stuff they figuring out.
Yeah.
All right, what we got?
All right, so what we got, and we probably went over this, but was there a time that the internet like took away the mystery or something for you?
I mean, yeah, we did.
We kind of went over that,
a
yeah.
little bit.
TV shows, movies, maybe stuff like that.
Okay, here's one for James. This is the one I wanted to ask you. Has the internet influenced your financial spending in a negative or a positive way? Because I know you like to buy shoes.
I did.
Okay.
I'm retired. I'm retired.
Yeah.
It can.
How many shopping apps you got on your phone right now? I have a whole folder that just says
Shopping apps?
You're saying like clothing, not
anything.
Like the goat, like I got the goat app on my phone, like just because, and
Like, man, Amazon, I'll be like, yo, I don't need that screen protector, but just in case
Just
it
in
might
case.
break.
I almost don't even consider Amazon like a
Shop.
shopping app. It's like a necessity now.
absolutely.
It's like Walmart.
Yeah, it's like, so when you said it, I went to like, okay, like a Fashion Nova, Shein, or, like the Go app, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I got Chick-fil-A, I got Amazon. That might be about it when it comes to shopping though. Like, cause at one point I had Best Buy, but I'm like, I ain't going there that often. So when it comes to clothes, I'm like jealous of people that will have the shopping apps on.
Shout out Fashion Nova. This is $12.
I go on TikTok shop. Bro.
TikTok shop.
Yeah. My card on TikTok shop, I got like 47 items.
Yeah.
Scared to hit that button. But I bought an awesome vacuum cleaner for the car from there. Just shout out TikTok shop.
Yeah, shout them out. Got me a fresh jacket.
Yeah, good.
I got a TikTok got me on, like, you know how you got holes in your walls or little stuff like that. They got I got it now. They got like a spray paint, white. So all I gotta do is spray it. It's covered.
yeah, they should have had that a long time ago.
Yeah, I ain't gotta I'm like, and it's coming like this small, but I don't know. It's white. It matched my wall, so I'm good with it.
They probably got different colors too, right?
They do, they
Yeah.
do. And I'm just like, yo. So I'm like, now I was being cautious to put certain things on the wall. Cause like, man, when I move, I ain't gonna have to cover it. I was like, I don't even care now. All I do is I take, let's say if it's adhesive on the walls or whatever. I'm like, man, let me tear that off and rip the thing. I'm like, I'm good. And it just dry and it's a whole new wall.
It's like paint.
Yeah,
Alright,
just
Trey,
paint.
What's a
Yeah.
positive way that it's helped, like spending? Is there a positive way that it's helped you?
I think I'm more like looking for a sale now. I think I'm more like looking to save money now. Like, and that's probably it.
Because I feel like you'll see somebody with something and you'll be like, oh, like I can get that, or I can get something similar, and it'll improve like my lifestyle. Like he's talking about spray painting holes in his house.
I wouldn't buy that on a regular.
Yeah.
But yeah, you probably saw
It's a
that
necessity.
vacuum just
Yeah, that
because-
vacuum was hard. It's in the car.
Just because you saw somebody using it.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, I just be looking for deals now. I think that it made me like I can go in the store and not buy nothing, and then go and be like, yo, I wonder if it's cheap. Like I see the TV that I wanted. It was $1,000, 75-inch, at Best Buy's, and I went online, and I typed the TV in to look at the specs of it, not to look for a deal. And it was like, hey, for this month only at BJ's, this TV's $530. I thought, oh, that's easy. like, right over there. Yeah, so it's like, dang, I almost spent $1,000 on the TV that I didn't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it has helped out with that. Is there like, okay, so do y'all have any hobbies in here that y'all love?
I do art.
Okay. Oh yeah. Shout out my man. Nice.
Okay.
James Edwards.
All right.
He need to get back on that. He need to make never mind. We gonna talk later.
But now I was about to say I find recipes.
Okay,
So I might go and buy like chicken wings from the grocery store just to like try something, or like
What about So what about Will? What about you?
honestly,
You
like,
ain't DJ back in the day?
no, I didn't DJ, but
Oh.
I'm thinking of some kind of apps I use, like YouTube. Like you can fix anything using
Okay,
YouTube.
yeah, okay, exactly.
Like for me, since I don't want tickets, like I use Waze, so I can find where all the cops are at. Sorry.
Amen to that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Potholes
sir.
and everything. So
I
like,
use Waze
We all
too.
know Platinum is a dancer, you know.
Yeah.
Famous Rose is a YouTuber, and her mom is just the awesome.
It's allowed me to like do
Yeah.
like home projects.
So has it like ruined the hobby that you liked? Cause I'm gonna say this one hobby that I still do it and I love it to death, but it's ruined it. Is making beats.
Really?
Yeah, it has, because it's like I think that YouTube has made making beats like a selling thing, where it's like you're selling the sauce that you kept. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're
okay.
wondering how, man, I wonder how you got that 808 on there. Hey, look, man, somebody on YouTube already done figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it ruins the mystique of it. Like
Okay.
like now they got loops. You don't even have to go be that creative. Now they got loops that come chopped already, where you don't even have to chop them up.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love making beats and stuff like that, but I also could see how like producers like Timbaland and them guys say that, you know, like Timbaland said he used to get $500,000 a beat.
Yeah.
You know, he said y'all done ruin that. Like he was like, you might get a 5,000. He might get 5,000 a beat. So it's like, I think it definitely, and then like it's so watered down. Like if you got one idea, 1,000 other people, instead of that kid in the basement trying to make something original, they're just copying what they see. So it's like, and then if you are too original, it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
it's
whack.
Trevor Beats type beat.
Yeah, like,
so
you
you
know.
don't think you ever get that, having that ability to feel original with the beats back again?
Nah, I do. I mean, especially like now that I just want to work with like guys I went to school with, like, you know, and like local guys. At that's definitely bought. Like me and Bones was talking, and you know, like I was like, yeah. What about you?
Is it school?
No, man. Can I flip that a little bit?
Yeah, you can.
So I hear what you're saying. I agree, but I feel like you can also flip that, right? So let's just say, I'm gonna use an example. Tripping out, like these kids tripping out. They.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'll be honest. I had no one. I was like, as a dancer, I'm thinking like, yo, what else could you possibly do with your body? And then it catches on, and everybody wants to do it. But the NOLA beat, I have no idea what a NOLA beat meant or was. And I'm hearing it, I'm Googling, I'm choreographing to like but Mario, Just a Friend with a NOLA beat on. I'm like, yo, this joint hit. It's a different beat I've never heard of. And I've noticed that a lot of DJs in that area down south made those type of beats with our favorite songs that we like. Mm-hmm. But if you have a sound that's yours and that you like, and you talking with Bones or whatever, create a page, a social media page that has that, and that catches on. You almost got to go with the times, go with what's going on. Because if it catches, you may not make money from necessarily beats directly, but indirectly on social media. You know what I'm saying? Now you're killing two birds with one stone. You're getting your monetization on your social media app from, let's just say TikTok mainly, where I see a lot of this stuff, from them. And somebody might reach up like, yo, can you make me a beat? Well, NOLA, that's an example, a NOLA beat, and I pay you this, and then now you talking about paperwork and spreadsheets.
Paperwork.
You know what I'm saying? But like on top of that, but like find something that you. I see what you're saying though, but I feel like you can flip it.
Yeah, you are like
and stuff
with
like
everything
that.
we done said. There's also another side to it. Like I'm getting ready to ask all y'all, what's the main thing that has helped out? So we can start with you. What's the main
Opportunity?
Alright.
It's just opportunity. I think it just depends on how you, because there's nothing. Nobody out here is reinventing the wheel. I think it's just sticking with something, figuring it out. You know, trying different angles with it, and sticking with it. You know what I mean? Just you got to do something that stands out, that get people's attention. So like if I feel like James is funny, but we know he can draw his ass off, yo, he might have to do a funny skit while he's drawing to make it different from somebody else just drawing.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
Something original.
Something original. That's how you make things original. So the biggest word, opportunity.
Man, shout out James Edwards, man.
No, I was about to say, I honestly feel like he could tell a story from his perspective, like with a cam overhead of him drawing something, like even mistakes and all, erasing or whatever, like, because none of the stuff we doing out here is perfect anyway. But that gives it originality, like just him giving his personality with his brand of art, like, is fire. Like, I actually like the suggestion Jermaine gave, where it's like, and not always like moving with the times, because you might be set in 2003. You might want your stuff to sound how it was when we was in high school, but like you can offer whatever like your page wants it to be, and somebody's gonna like it. Like, you're not the only person that likes your style of music, and there's enough.
Now, when I went out to LA, I found that out.
Yeah.
Not so much here, but when I went to LA, like, it was like, like
They was on it.
like Nipsey, like Nipsey's guys. I was sitting in there, and Shamika's like, "Take out your laptop." And I'm like, "Why? I'm not from here. Take the laptop out." She said, "Take the laptop out." So I took it out, started playing some joints. He's like, "This you?" I said, "Yeah, man, it's nothing." I started my confidence. Like, you want to hear something? like,
Okay.
yeah. So it's like, but all right. So you said opportunity, James. What you got? What has it enhanced for you?
What is the internet enhanced?
We got 15 minutes, by the way. So.
No, it gives me, when you see certain people doing certain things, it almost puts a battery in your back. Like, okay, if they're doing that poorly on something, I know I can do this with whatever I want to do. So it's like, I've seen people out here pretending on the internet, like pretending to be a DJ by pressing a button, wearing some headphones, and you calling yourself a DJ. That's not DJing. So it's like, or making a beat, whether you're a beat maker, producer, they out here pretending. So it's like, if I can get back to the meat and potatoes of what I used to do back in the day, I know I can pop like that. So it really got, like, seeing folks on the internet pretending is giving me a battery in my back to like get back on my grind and like really.
So yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it did for me personally, but in due time.
So you looking at me, Trav?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I go back about 20 years ago. I think it enhanced me because I was able to be somebody who was a father, a husband, coach of different sports, and go back and get my degree online. So it put me in a position that I could be, get my college education differently than going to a university. So definitely enhanced me that way.
I thought you were going that way.
No.
I can go, and then you can go after me.
Okay.
All right. So, for me, I feel like education. Like, I've learned so much. Like, I learn something every day because of the internet. Like, my daughter is brilliant, like, because of the internet. Like, and some of it is from us, but if I didn't have the internet to continuously have knowledge at the tip of my finger, like, she asked me what something means almost every day. For me to be able to go into ChatGPT and be like, hey, you know my personality, explain this in my terms. Because sometimes I don't even want, like, what the general population would say something means. Now that it knows me, like, it can be like, oh, corny is this, is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, it knows exactly where I would go with that. I also feel like without the internet, how would people know that I'm here?
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff has happened just because I can post it. I can share it. Not to say I've never had to call anybody, but I don't have the yellow pages to scroll through 1,000 names, 1,000,000 names. Like, I get to take my pictures, post it. I can, like this video. You're gonna post it, they're gonna be like, yo, like, where was that at? Like,
I hope.
I mean, it's going to happen. Like, it happened. Like, people want to be here. People want to be around me because of stuff that they've seen on the internet. Like, a lot of people are not going to, I mean, people are going to see how I'm interacting in person if they're there. But if they aren't there, I gotta be able to share it. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that goes to opportunity as well. Like,
Shout out ChatGPT. famous Rose.
Yeah, what did the internet improve in your life?
I think it's improves, like, I can record, like, it's pretty easy to just record and do stuff that I love for my channel.
And there you go.
And then I just need my parents to edit and upload the videos, and then I can just get famous from doing the stuff that I love.
Man, my episode though. Like, you go ahead and talk about this. Yeah, we gonna talk about that on camera, okay? Megan.
It made the world smaller. So
Bingo.
sometimes it's bad, but for me,
It ain't bad for you.
all of my clients so far this year have been besides 2, have been in states or countries that I've never been to. So I would never, and a lot of them came from a slide, like them sliding into my DM. So that would have never happened without the internet.
Shout out to the DM slide.
Side note.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Nah, go ahead, do your thing.
Nah, let her. What
He's
y'all say?
known
Let
to
her
slide
land.
in a DM or 2
To make some things happen.
to make some things happen. Because we knew each other for a long time, but it was a Facebook request.
Hey, can I just
prompted it
get
all.
recognition that I was the first person that came and almost got my car towed to come see y'all at the apartment?
But nah, she makes a good point. While we had known each other for a good bit, like, I slid in the DMs. And now we got a studio, a family.
Hey, that's a good story.
So,
They need to make a Lifetime joint out of that. Shout out to Lifetime, make that happen, man. The Harper Haven romance. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who they gonna get to play y'all younger, but I gotta be there for the cast.
oh my God. Who gonna play you younger?
I don't know. No, don't say Drewski. Shout out Drewski though. You know what I mean? I'm sorry I missed the Baltimore episode, but I said, well, what was I gonna go up there and do? And they was like, you could have just went up there and said, hey, they tell me I look like you. Can we just get a picture? I was not doing that.
Could have been a stunt though.
Oh,
No, I don't do no stunt. All right, what about you, Dow Jones?
I would just say access, man. Access to more stuff. Things easier for me to do, you know what I'm saying?
What stuff?
All kinds of stuff,
Oh,
man.
okay.
I'll say 2020, I ended up in a wheelchair or whatever. So, having access to order food when I can't go get it, stuff like that,
Yeah, that's underrated.
Stuff you take for granted, you know what I'm saying?
That should be a game changer. DoorDash?
Yeah.
What? They even thought that was a free app on my phone, man. Like,
I just need to order whatever.
yeah, look, Mom, look, we can get a pizza right now.
or even this, even the elementary schools I went down in the city, they was late. I said, why was you late? Oh, my mom didn't get the lift in time.
What?
So they
With a bus?
With a bus. Y'all not walking? Y'all not? Oh, we got an Uber or a Lyft. These kids don't know nothing about.
They don't know nothing about the struggle.
Yeah, like they can just call an Uber or a Lyft to get where they want to get to. And some people are like, oh, you didn't have a car in high school? No, I wherever I needed to go at that time,
Pat
I
and
had a
Charlie.
ride. Like at that time for it. But these kids just pick up a phone like, yeah, I need a Lyft, I need an Uber.
Or they called in the end.
Where that money coming from?
Nah,
You got no job.
I think the internet's helped me networking.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of I used to listen to this guy religiously, man, for like 10 years named Cam Wallace, right? And he did Cam did a bunch of stuff for Chris Brown. He did Beyonce's Upgrade You, which I thought was Swiss, but Swiss just added the whistles.
Wow.
So I used to so
Shout out to Cam.
yeah, shout out to Cam Wallace, man. And
Stuff you hate
I-
finding out.
yeah. So I used I listened to all his mixtapes and then I found out he made his own beat, so I was like, man, this dude, he nice. And I just randomly sent him a voice message back in 2020, and he hit me right back. And he was like, I think he was in the studio with like Slim Thug or somebody. And now we got joints we trying to send to people. We got an album out, and then we talk on like man, I've been going through it, man. I ain't been making no music. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just got, I got this going on. And, it's like a brotherhood almost now, you know what I'm saying? To the point where I would have never had that opportunity if it wasn't for me to be able to just send a voice message. And it was a voice message that I think did it.
Okay.
Versus
texting. Yeah, versus just texting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to and now Jay the Great and him doing a lot of stuff together. I was able to meet. I got in contact with him first, but I told y'all about him. So you met PC before I did.
That's facts.
I would have never met PC if it wasn't for Barry McQueen, B to the Dot,
Yeah.
introducing me to him. Because I tell everybody, everybody's like, when did you get your first taste of what like being in that life was? And I was like, no matter what I was doing, B to the Dot was like, yo, we got somewhere to go tonight. And I just was like, I was getting off work, going there, hanging out till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting off, going back to work, doing it all over. So it was like, those guys would have never happened if it wasn't for the internet and, you know, a little bit of, I shot him out Clifton Futch, and yeah, but all that though is like, the internet really helped me out with that, so.
Nah, that's funny because I spent hours on PC's site. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you could.
When I got like work to do, I'll go to PC's site and I'll just
Shout out Troy Thompson, you know,
And what's funny
Grammy
is that-
winner at that too.
That's the second time he's come up this week in conversation, like, because he's fire. Like, he's dope.
And then, you know, like me and like, you know, also like what it's done for me and Trev, like, you know, me, Trev, and Dev, we still got that tape we want to do, Dev versus Trev, where Trevin's in the middle and we're on the side. So it's like when Ye and Pharrell did that with the, Pusha T, it was like half of it was made by Ye and half of it was made by Pharrell. That's what me and Dev was. Okay. Right. We are trying to get together. So I definitely want to thank y'all for coming out to another live episode, and hopefully next time it'll be a little bit more people. I'll take, you know what?
You gotta appreciate the people who are in the room.
Yeah, definitely. I did say that in the beginning. Remember, I said the lovely audience.
And your special guest.
He definitely ain't gonna be here again.
Yeah, North Carolina, baby.
Yeah, I had, you know, Megan charged $300 an hour, and just to get her in here was, you know, it was a lot. So I want to say thank you to Platinum J, James Edwards, Will Smith, Kevin Famous Rose, and the famous Megan Ewing. If you don't know her, yeah, come in here and she'll change your whole life. If there's an idea that you are thinking about, you want to do, and you on the fence, she gonna put that battery in your back, and you gonna go out there and you gonna get something done. So it's like, yeah. So I want to say thank y'all to all my lovely guests, and until next time.
Happy Mother's Day too.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Clap it up.
Yeah, clap it up. Happy Mother's Day. And we done. I thank y'all, man, for coming. I really did. I was shocked to see you two.
He called me. I ain't gonna lie. I was
Kid
asleep.
free. Look, I'm kid.
What happened,